In this video, we're going to talk through how you can go from a retention model all the way through to CLV. So we're going to use data from our Blue Apron example. This should look familiar. We just fit the two-segment model to the actual survival curve. So again, this is the survival curve that we would expect given the best parameters of the two-segment shifted geometric model, assuming that we've trained on all of the data. So here we're kind of minimizing the error across every time point. So the first thing that we need to do is get the longer run projections. So imagine that in this case, we want to go out 10 years. And then what I'm going to do is, instead of just training the model, I'm going to project out, call it a full 120 time periods. And I'm just going to take these segment-specific survival curves and then the resulting overall survival curve, and I am going to similarly project those out into the future. Now again, here we're using the two-segment model. We could just as easily have this column coming from another model. So you might hear me talking about models like the shifted beta geometric model, the Weibull gamma model, a survival random forest model. Really any model will end up giving you some projection of the expected percent of the cohort that's alive over time. And so now that we have this, the next thing that we need is, again, when we think about what is CLV, well, CLV needs to incorporate CAC, and it needs to incorporate the revenue and contribution margin of customers while they're alive. And so in this particular case, the thing that we're going to assume is that the orders per month while customers are alive is 1.8. We're going to assume further that the revenue per order is 57.3. Now these are figures that are coming from the case. Let's assume that the contribution margin is 26% and that CAC is $100. Now that's true, then we can just add an additional column here which represents revenue given alive, revenue while alive. And that would be orders per month times revenue per order while alive. So this is 103.14. Let's just kind of assume stability in this number over time. This is staying the same. Then the expected revenue, when we take into account customer attrition, is going to be the revenue that we would get assuming the customers are alive times what we think the probability that the customer alive is. Now, one subtle distinction is that here we have some data from the past that we've observed, and then we have some data from the future. Now, when data is available in the past, we want to incorporate it. We only want to use our model for projections that we make into the future. So here, for the first 12 periods, I'm going to use the actual data coming from the observed survival curve. But then starting over here, I'm going to use the expected survival curve. Whoop, there we go. And just project that down. Now from here, we want to get to the expected contribution profit. So I'm going to take the revenue and I'm going to multiply it by the contribution margin. Copy and paste that down. Now we're going to need a discount rate. So there's the question, what discount rate do we assume? Let's assume for the sake of simplicity that the discount rate is 12%. Then over here we would create discount factors, and these would be equal to 1 divided by 1 plus in truth, what we'd want to do is convert this to a monthly discount rate. So we would take 1 plus the annual discount rate raised to the power of 1 over 12 minus 1. That's the monthly discount rate, and then we can use this over here. So discount factor 1 over 1 plus monthly discount rate raised to the power of the month. Let me just copy and paste this down. Then the present value of the expected contribution profit is just the contribution profit multiplied by the discount factor. I'm going to copy and paste that down. So then the PAV would be equal to the sum of all of these contribution profits. Now in truth this is over 10 years, just to be precise, which would imply if we were to subtract off the CAC of $100 that the CLV, at least over 10 years, would be this plus this. And so return on investment, which is CLV to CAC, would be this divided by this, about 63% rate of return. So that's how we get the CLV. And PAV, again, if we wanted the 5-year PAV, we would just sum up all of these present values over the first 5 years. So that would go up through here. And so on and so forth. So that's it. That's how you estimate CLV. So if you do any assignments, again, you're going to take these projections that you're going to take these estimates, you're going to project them out further into the future, incorporate revenue, translate that into contribution profit, account for time value of money to get present values, and then use that to get all of the relevant figures.